Have you ever stopped to think that the experiences you lived in past lives might be shaping your life now? Imagine discovering that you were someone completely different, with stories and secrets that still influence who you are today. Curiosity is natural, but what you uncover might shock you. Buddhist teachings show us that life is cyclical and that each of us carries lessons and karma from past lives. Knowing who you were can reveal patterns of behavior and even hidden talents. What would you do if you found out you were a powerful person, or perhaps a wise sage? And what if the reason for some of the challenges in your current life is deeply rooted in past experiences? Watching this video might be the key to understanding and changing important aspects of your life. Here, you'll learn how to access this knowledge and uncover hidden truths about your past. It's not just a matter of curiosity, but of personal transformation. Are you ready to be surprised? Before we dive into this journey of self-discovery, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any content and to attract good things into your life. Comment below, "I'm ready to discover who I was and create a new reality." Have you ever wondered why certain things in your life seem to repeat, as if you're stuck in a cycle? Maybe you constantly feel lonely, even when surrounded by people. Or perhaps you're always helping others, but never feel as appreciated as you should. These situations might not just be coincidences. According to Buddhist teachings, they could be linked to who you were in a past life. Imagine that the challenges you face today, like difficulty trusting others or the feeling that something is missing in your life, could have roots in experiences your soul went through before you were born. Maybe you were someone who suffered greatly in a previous life, and that still influences your emotions and attitudes. Now, discovering who you were can help you understand why you feel certain things, and more importantly, how to overcome these feelings. Have you noticed that certain talents or behaviors come naturally to you, as if you already knew how to do something without having learned it? Or maybe you feel drawn to certain times or cultures without any logical explanation. This could be a reflection of a past life where you developed those skills or had experiences that deeply marked your soul. Knowing who you were can bring a new perspective on your gifts and challenges, showing you what you need to do to live a fuller and more satisfying life. Now, in this video, we'll explore how to identify the signs your current life offers about who you were in past lives. By understanding this past, you can start transforming your present, better handling the challenges you face, and valuing more the things you already do well. If you feel there's something more in your life that needs to be discovered, you're in the right place. Let's embark on this journey together to unravel the mysteries of your past and find answers to what you're living today. Loner. If you're someone who feels lonely even when surrounded by people or isolates yourself often, this might be connected to a past life where you were a hermit or lived in isolation. Maybe you were someone who chose to live far from society, seeking peace or inner knowledge. In that life, silence and solitude were your companions, but this may have left marks that now manifest as difficulty in emotionally connecting with others. In this life, your mission could be to learn to balance time alone with building meaningful relationships, breaking the cycle of isolation, and opening up to the world. The feeling of loneliness might also be an echo of abandonment or significant loss in a previous life. Maybe you lost someone very dear to you in that life and never overcame that pain. This could have created an emotional barrier that still persists today, causing you to avoid deep connections out of fear of reliving that pain. However, in this life, you have the opportunity to heal those wounds by allowing yourself to form new connections without the weight of the past. Additionally, this inclination towards solitude might indicate that you had a past life as a wise person or someone deeply spiritual who needed time and space to meditate and seek inner answers. Your soul might be familiar with tranquility and introspection, which could explain why you feel more comfortable alone. However, it's important to remember that in this life, you're also here to share and learn from others. Finding balance between personal space and social relationships is key. If you identify with these feelings, it might be helpful to reflect on the areas of your life where you still feel isolated and work to build bridges with those around you. By understanding these past roots, you might find new ways to connect, enjoying the richness of human relationships while still respecting your need for time to yourself. Interested in war and action? Are you drawn to action movies, war stories, or have an unusual interest in military strategies? If so, this could be a sign that in a past life you were a soldier, military strategist, or even a warrior in ancient times, that life was marked by battles, struggles, and tough decisions where your courage and leadership skills were constantly tested. These current interests may be reflections of experiences your soul lived on battlefields where adrenaline and survival were the main focus. In that life, you might have been someone who fought for an ideal or defended your people with bravery. The intensity and urgency of the situations you faced could have left a deep mark on your soul, making you feel connected to themes of struggle and overcoming even today. Perhaps that life taught you the importance of strength and strategy, which is why you're so interested in these subjects. However, in this life, the challenge might be learning to channel that energy peacefully, using your leadership skills and determination for causes that promote well-being and peace. This fascination with battles and conflicts might also indicate that in past lives you faced many adversities and had to fight not only physically, but also emotionally to survive. This could have strengthened a side of your personality that values resilience and the ability to overcome. Now, your mission in this life might be to understand that not every battle needs to be fought with brute force, and that often victory comes through diplomacy, empathy, and collaboration. If you find yourself attracted to these themes, it might be interesting to reflect on how you handle challenges in your current life. Are you someone who faces problems head-on like a warrior, or do you tend to avoid confrontations? By understanding these tendencies and their roots in past lives, you can begin to balance the need for action with the wisdom of when and how to fight life's battles in a way that promotes growth and harmony. Born leader. If you feel naturally inclined to take charge in group situations, or if people often look to you for guidance, it's possible that in a past life you were a powerful leader, perhaps a king, queen, tribal chief, or even a spiritual leader. In that life, you were used to making important decisions and guiding others in times of crisis. Your leadership ability was essential, and you learned to handle the responsibility of caring for the well-being of many people. The leadership skills you demonstrate today may be remnants of that past life, where your authority was recognized and respected. Perhaps you were someone who ruled wisely, or maybe you learned hard lessons about the use and abuse of power. Now, in this life, your mission might be to exercise that leadership in a balanced way, using your influence to create a positive impact and help others grow along with you. Another possibility is that you were a military leader or commander, where your decisions on the battlefield could mean the difference between life and death for your soldiers. This might explain why you have a clear and decisive vision in high-pressure situations and why you feel comfortable making tough decisions. However, in this life, the challenge might be to apply this leadership ability in areas that don't involve conflict, but rather the building and development of communities or teams. If you identify as a born leader, it might be helpful to reflect on how you exercise that leadership today. Are you using your influence to promote the well-being of everyone around you, or are you being driven by the need for control? Understanding your past lives can give you a clearer view of how to use your leadership skills to create a lasting and positive impact, both for yourself and for those who follow your example. Curious about mysteries and spirituality? Are you someone who has always been fascinated by the unknown, by mysteries, or by spiritual themes? If so, this might indicate that in a past life you were a priest, monk, healer, or even a scholar of occult knowledge. Your past life was likely dedicated to the search for deep truths and understanding the universe beyond what is visible. This curiosity and search for answers may have been the driving force of that existence, where you explored the mysteries of life and death, spirit and matter. In that life, you might have been a person who sought the deeper meaning of existence, perhaps isolating yourself from the world to meditate and contemplate the truths of the universe. Your connection to the spiritual was strong, and you may have been a guide for others, helping them understand their own spiritual paths. Now, in this life, this inclination towards mystery and spirituality might be a reflection of that previous journey, inviting you to continue exploring these questions, but in a way that is relevant to the modern world. This fascination with the unknown might also indicate that in past lives you played roles as a spiritual advisor or sage, where your insight was sought by those who needed guidance. Your soul may be accustomed to seeking answers beyond the surface, and this is reflected in your current curiosity about subjects that touch the invisible and the immaterial. In this life, your mission might be to find a balance between the spiritual and the material, applying the lessons learned from your past quests in a practical and accessible way to help yourself and others. If you identify with this interest in mysteries and spirituality, it might be helpful to explore practices that connect you with your spiritual roots, such as meditation, studying ancient philosophies, or participating in spiritual communities. Understanding your past lives can help guide your current spiritual journey, allowing you to deepen your knowledge and use it to illuminate your path and the paths of those around you. Entrepreneur or innovator, have you always seen yourself as someone with new ideas who likes to create and innovate? If so, it's possible that in a past life you were an inventor, merchant, or pioneer. In that life, you were someone who was always ahead of your time, seeking ways to transform the world around you. Perhaps you were a merchant who explored new trade routes, or an inventor who brought new technologies to your era. This inclination towards innovation and entrepreneurship might be a reflection of a soul that was already accustomed to breaking barriers and exploring the new. In that life, you might have been someone who faced significant challenges in trying to bring your ideas to the world. Maybe you encountered resistance or misunderstanding, but your determination and clear vision allowed you to overcome those obstacles and leave your mark. Now, in this life, these qualities are still present, driving you to continue innovating and creating, but this time with the added wisdom of the lessons you learned in the past. This ability to see beyond what is obvious and to seek new solutions might be a sign that in past lives you played roles that required creativity and courage. Perhaps you were an explorer who charted new territories, or a business leader who built something from scratch. In this life, your mission might be to use this creativity not just to seek personal success, but also to bring lasting benefits to society as a whole. If you identify with this entrepreneurial or innovative spirit, it might be helpful to reflect on how your ideas and projects can have a broader impact. Are you using your gifts to create something meaningful? By understanding your past lives, you can gain insights into how to overcome the challenges you face as an innovator and how to turn your passion into something that makes a real difference in the world. Caretaker or protector. If you're a person who naturally takes care of others, who feels a deep need to protect and nurture, it's possible that in a past life you were a caretaker, nurse, or someone responsible for the well-being of your community or family. In that life, your role was to ensure that those around you were cared for and protected, even if it meant sacrificing your own needs. This dedication to caring for others might have left a deep mark on your soul, making you continue to feel this responsibility for others in this life. In that existence, you might have been someone who dedicated your life to others, perhaps as a healer or guardian of your community. Your soul learned the importance of service and compassion, and these qualities are still present in you today. Now, your mission in this life might be to learn to balance this need to care for others with caring for yourself. You might need to learn to set healthy boundaries, ensuring that your desire to help doesn't become a source of burnout. This inclination towards care and protection might also be a sign that in past lives you went through situations where you had to fight to protect those you love, perhaps as a warrior or defender of your family or tribe. This experience might have strengthened your sense of duty and responsibility, but also left scars that now manifest as difficulty in trusting that others can take care of themselves. In this life, the mission might be to learn to trust others and allow them to take on their own responsibilities. If you identify as a caretaker or protector, it might be helpful to reflect on how you can balance your desire to help with the need to care for yourself. Understanding your past lives can give you a new perspective on how to use your skills in a way that benefits both you and others, ensuring that you can continue to serve in a sustainable and fulfilling way. Fear of failure. If you constantly feel anxious about failing or fear failure so much that you avoid new opportunities, this might be linked to a past life where you experienced a significant downfall, perhaps as a leader or someone who took great risks. In that life, the failure might have been so impactful that it left a lasting mark on your soul, creating a mental barrier that still persists in this existence. This fear might be a subconscious protection, a way to avoid reliving the pain and disappointment of the past. In that life, the failure might have come as a result of a risky decision or an unexpected event beyond your control. Maybe you invested everything you had in a project that didn't work out or led a campaign that wasn't successful. This event might have defined the rest of that life, teaching you hard lessons about the consequences of actions. Now, in this life, you might carry this fear as a way to protect yourself, but also as a barrier that prevents your growth. However, the fear of failure can also be seen as an opportunity for growth. In this life, your mission might be to learn to face this fear and understand that failure is a natural part of the process of learning and success. Instead of avoiding risks, you might learn to better calculate your decisions, using the lessons from your past lives to navigate more wisely over time. You can transform this fear into a drive to better prepare yourself and approach challenges with more confidence. If you identify with this fear of failure, it might be helpful to reflect on the times when this fear has held you back. By understanding the roots of this fear in your past lives, you can begin to work on overcoming it, allowing yourself to take healthy risks and grow from the experiences instead of being paralyzed by fear of what might go wrong. If you have an inexplicable fear of water, like a deep fear of drowning or an aversion to large bodies of water, this might be a reflection of a past life where the sea played an important and possibly traumatic role. Often, these intense fears don't have a logical explanation in the current life. like a negative experience with water. Instead, they might be subconscious memories of a past life where you could have been a sailor or someone involved in major sea voyages. If you feel tension or discomfort at the thought of being at sea, it's possible that you went through a shipwreck or other traumatic water-related event in a previous life. On the other hand, if you feel an irresistible attraction to the sea, as if it has a magnetic power over you, this might indicate that the sea was an important part of who you were in another life. Maybe you were a navigator or explorer, someone who spent much of your time on ocean expeditions. The fascination with the sea might be a memory of freedom and adventure, or a deep connection with the vastness and mystery that the ocean represents. This love for the sea might have been something you developed in a past life and that still resonates strongly with your soul today. These memories, whether they are of fear or fascination, influence the way you relate to water in your current life. If you're afraid of swimming or avoid boat trips, it might be helpful to explore these feelings through meditations or regressions to try to access the root of this fear and thus heal it. On the other hand, if you feel at home near the sea, this connection might be a clue about who you were and the lessons you learned in past lives. Maybe water represents an element of healing and comfort for you, something that is still deeply connected to your being. Understanding these feelings towards water can offer a new perspective on your current life. Recognizing that these fears or fascinations might have origins in past lives can be liberating, allowing you to deal with them more consciously. If you feel that the sea has a special power over you, it's likely that it is connected to old memories that still need to be understood and integrated into your current journey. If you've ever felt misunderstood or even rejected for having special gifts or a unique sensitivity, this might be a sign of who you were in a past life. Maybe you were a person with spiritual or intuitive abilities, someone who had a deep connection with the invisible world. In ancient times, people with these capabilities were often viewed with suspicion, persecuted, or even called witches. However, these witches were not bad people, but individuals with spiritual gifts that were misunderstood and feared by others. In a past life, you might have been one of those people who, despite your intention to help and heal, was rejected by society. Maybe you had healing abilities, made predictions, or had deep knowledge about nature and the energies that govern the world. Because of this, you might have suffered persecution, been marginalized, or even faced severe punishment. This memory of misunderstanding and persecution might be influencing your current life, making you afraid to express your abilities or to fully show who you really are to the world. In the present life, this fear of being judged or rejected might manifest in different ways. Maybe you have a strong intuition, premonitory dreams, or abilities that you can't explain, but avoid sharing with others out of fear of being misunderstood. Or maybe you feel you have a special purpose but struggle to find your place in the world, always feeling out of place or different. These feelings might be echoes of a past life where your abilities were not accepted, and now you're reliving this fear of being who you truly are. Understanding that this feeling of being misunderstood has roots in a past life can be liberating. By recognizing that these memories still influence your behavior, you can start healing these wounds and allowing yourself to be who you really are without fear. Knowing that your abilities are a gift and not a curse can help you find people and communities that accept and value you for who you are. This way, you can transform fear into strength and rejection into acceptance, living fully the purpose your soul brought from other lives. If you've ever felt trapped in a routine that seems never-ending, or if you sometimes question the purpose of your life, this might be a sign of who you were in a past life. Many people go through life feeling like they are just passing time without finding true motivation or meaning. In a past life, you might have been someone who lived extremely structured and controlled, perhaps as a worker in a rigid environment, a peasant with few options for change, or even someone living under strict rules that limited your freedom and creativity. This sense of stagnation in your current life might be a reflection of the limitations you faced previously. Maybe you lived a life where your choices were very restricted, where your role in society was fixed and inflexible, and now these memories are manifesting a silent dissatisfaction. You might feel that no matter how hard you try to change things, they remain the same, as if you're stuck in a never-ending cycle. This can generate feelings of frustration, apathy, or even a sense that you're wasting your potential in the present life. This feeling of being trapped in a purposeless routine might manifest in various ways. Maybe you have a job that doesn't satisfy you, but you feel like you have no choice but to continue. Or perhaps your daily responsibilities seem overwhelming, as if there's no time or energy to pursue your true dreams. This pattern might be an echo of a past life where you didn't have the opportunity to explore your talents and passions, and now your soul is crying out for change and freedom. Recognizing that this feeling of stagnation might have roots in a past life can be the first step to breaking this cycle. By understanding that this dissatisfaction is not just a matter of the present, but a lesson that your soul is trying to learn, you can start looking for ways to free yourself from these constraints. Finding small ways to introduce change and novelty into your life, whether through new hobbies, travel, or even changes in work, can help you reconnect with the purpose your soul is seeking. This way, you can transform monotony into opportunity and find meaning in your current life. If you identified with any of the characteristics we discussed, this means you might be carrying influences from your past lives that still impact your life today. The first step to transforming this reality is to recognize these patterns and accept them as part of your journey. Understanding that these feelings or behaviors have deep roots can be liberating because you realize that you don't have to hold on to them forever. For example, if you feel an intense fear of water, recognizing that this might be linked to a traumatic experience in a past life is the beginning of overcoming that fear. Knowing the origin of the problem gives you the power to face it consciously. After recognizing these influences, it's time to transform these past lessons into strengths for your present. If you see yourself as someone who always carries a lot of responsibility or feels trapped in a purposeless routine, this might be a sign that your soul is ready to learn how to live differently. The key here is to change your perspective. Instead of seeing these experiences as burdens, see them as opportunities for growth. If you were a figure of great responsibility in past lives, now is the time to learn to delegate, to find balance, and to trust more in the people around you. This shift in attitude can unlock new possibilities in your current life. Another way to use this information to change your reality is to reconnect with the talents and abilities you developed in past lives. If you identified as someone who was deeply spiritual or possessed special gifts, now might be the time to explore these qualities more deeply. Allow yourself to develop these abilities without fear of judgment from others. Perhaps you have a sharp intuition or a natural talent for helping others, and by embracing these qualities, you not only honor who you were, but also create a positive impact on the world around you. This reconnection can bring a new sense of purpose and fulfillment to your life. Finally, transforming your reality also involves making conscious choices that align your present with the purpose of your soul. This means making decisions that resonate with who you truly are, rather than following paths that only reinforce negative patterns from the past. If you feel that you were always misunderstood or persecuted for your gifts, for example, now is the time to find environments and people who accept and value you. Changing your reality is a journey of self-discovery and courage, where you use the lessons of the past to build a future that truly reflects the essence of who you are. By doing this, you not only heal the wounds of the past, but also create a life that is fuller and more meaningful. Accessing memories of past lives can be done through techniques that help you dive into the depths of your consciousness. One of the most effective approaches is deep meditation. By meditating, you can quiet your mind and create a state of relaxation where hidden memories begin to emerge. A common technique is guided meditation, where you follow a narration that leads you to visualize moments and experiences that may belong to previous lives. This process is about allowing images and sensations to arise naturally without pressure or control. Another well-known practice is regression, often conducted with the help of a therapist or experienced guide. During a regression session, you are brought into a deep state of relaxation, which facilitates access to past memories. These sessions can reveal scenes, sounds, or emotions from previous lives, offering a clearer view of who you were. It's a powerful practice for understanding patterns and behaviors that seem to have no origin in the current life. Dreams are also a valuable path for exploring past lives. Many believe that dreams can be a gateway to these memories. Keeping a dream journal can help you identify patterns or themes that appear repeatedly and may be linked to experiences from other lives. Practicing lucid dreaming, where you become aware within the dream, can also allow for a more targeted exploration of your past lives. This method can be particularly useful if you wish to investigate a specific aspect of your past. In addition to these practices, understanding the concept of karma and rebirth can be enriching for those seeking to access their past lives. Understanding that our past actions and choices shape our current reality can make sense of the memories that arise during these practices. Another useful technique is loving kindness meditation, which helps purify the mind and heart, making it easier to access and integrate these memories positively. These practices not only help you discover who you were, but also apply this knowledge to live a more fulfilling and conscious life. Now that you've explored the different types of people and their possible past lives, it's time to reflect on your own experiences and characteristics. Do you identify with any of the profiles we discussed? Maybe you have an inexplicable fear of water, feel a strong attraction to the sea, or perhaps you've always been a highly spiritual person seeking answers beyond the material world. Or maybe you've always felt misunderstood for your special gifts, as if the world wasn't ready to understand who you truly are. These characteristics might be more than just personality traits. They could be clear clues about who you were in a past life. When you look at these aspects in this new light, you start to see that there is a deep connection between what you're living now and what your soul has already experienced. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to better understanding your journey and, more importantly, to using it to your advantage. That's why we want to know more about you. Leave a comment below sharing which of these characteristics resonate most with you. Do you feel that there's something in your current life that might be connected to a previous existence, perhaps a phobia, a natural talent, or a constant feeling of being stuck in a routine? By sharing your experiences, you not only start exploring these connections more deeply, but also help others reflect on their own journeys. Remember, understanding who you were can be the key to transforming who you are now. So don't miss this opportunity to get to know yourself better and connect with others who are on the same quest. Comment below, and let's unravel the mysteries of our past together. If you've made it this far, it's because you're truly interested in discovering more about who you were and how that impacts your life today. I hope this video has provided valuable insights and that you're feeling more connected to your journey of self-discovery. Remember, the process of uncovering your past lives is ongoing, and each new understanding can be an important piece in the puzzle of your soul. If you enjoyed this content and want to continue exploring more about this fascinating topic, don't forget to leave your like. This helps a lot in spreading this information to more people who, like you, are searching for answers. And of course, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We have much more to share about spirituality, past lives, and how you can use this knowledge to transform your reality. Additionally, I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Comment below about how you identified with the characteristics we discussed and what you think it reveals about your past lives. And to attract good energy, share this video with someone you know who is interested in this topic. Let's grow together on this journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.